Good morning. This is day 8 for Rise and Resist and joining the Fast for the Forgotten. It's day 18 for the excluded workers who are at Judson, who are up in Albany, who are in Westchester fasting. Um, all that we want is justice. All that we want is economic justice for the people who have worked so hard, done so much for us, for our society, and we collectively feel like this is something that we can do to show empathy, to show that we care, to show that this is an issue that must be attended to. So today we have 4 people coming off a fast and 2 people going on. So who would like to go first of the people coming off the fast? Leon, would you like to?
Sure. Uh, so I'm going to end the fast after this. It was again pretty meaningful. Just like the first one, this is the second time I did it. Uh, it's so it's interesting. Feeling a little bit hungry during things. I just had an interview for a job that was and being conscious of it, and then thinking, well, people who are feeling hungry have that um every step of the day, everything that they're doing. How do they perform what they're doing when there's this underlying hunger or fear or something like that, and how these are the people we're talking about are the same people that took care of us when as a society, when things were at their worst, and things are still not great in terms, and they're out there risking their health without benefits that we guarantee everybody, supposedly. And we're the idea that we're excluding people, and that this is the way where, and then we're expecting them to function well, or to in these roles and in these jobs when they have these fears of hunger or shelter or something. It's just it really helps with perspective. It's a really So I found the second one meaningful, like the first one. Knew what to expect a little bit more. Knew what to expect a little bit more for your own body, but still really to gives you an idea. And it's such a small idea of what the people are seeing on a daily basis. When this happens day after day to somebody, when this is their situation, like what is it, how does it change their choices, how does it change their lives, how does it change the lives of their kids and their families and those around them. It really is important to feel it a little bit.
Thank you. Who would like to hop on next? Robert, go ahead.
Yeah, I dedicated my fast to Dolores Huerta, who, when I was a college kid back in the late 1960s, early 1970s, and was so deeply moved by the grape workers' boycott grapes campaign, and to see that Dolores Huerta is continuing the struggle now, so many decades later, that even though just one day of fasting was a very small drop in the bucket. I think each drop in the bucket over a lifetime can fill the bucket. And so I'm just really grateful to all of those people who are struggling so hard to make a living and who have provided us with our food and with our comfort for those of us who have family in care facilities or home care, who are often undocumented. So I just want to just humbly, my one little day of fasting, dedicate them to them. And if I can share my screen for a second.
Do it.
Um,
Do you need permission or are you okay?
it looks like host has disabled participant screen sharing. So it's okay. But I just am humbled by it, and am glad to have been a part of this for just even a day, and will do it again if needed. And also have several friends who called Albany as a result and who gave money as a result. So again, every little bit helps. So I'm glad to have been a little drop in the bucket of this noble cause.
Robert, I just enabled your screen share if you would like to share.
Okay. Just this woman here who's on her 10th day. Um, I'm doing it for her also.
Hmm.
She really inspired me sitting there in that wheelchair, having 10 days, and now she's 18 days into it. So I bless her and I thank her, and I wish good health and well-being for her, her family, and her loved ones.
Thank you, Robert. That was lovely. Wendy or Alvin? Wendy?
Yeah. I was originally drawn to the action, as I said, because of that word excluded. So the excluded, the invisible, intolerable terms to me, especially in relationship to these people. So I started my fast. At first, it was to talk a little bit about what the fast was involved, how we got involved with the fast was like at first, you have to just say, I'm going to start it. That's the hardest part. I don't think fasting, if we're not in some kind of medical stress, is that difficult, especially I was only committed to a day, and I found out I could actually try to extend it a little more. I'm still doing it in a very moderate kind of way, but just to encourage people, it's a wonderful, amazing thing in this time of so much distraction and fragmentation, that it actually offers a really kind of baseline that you can settle into and think and have other explorations of what is going on in the world and in yourself. And Alvin brought to my attention, my mother and father were both union organizers. I'm going, oh my God, here we are again. After all these years, these people still don't have representation, they don't have benefits, they don't have funding. So here we are again. So any little bit we can do, I think, is powerful. And I love that. Maybe we'll get some contributions, but it's also to just amplify what's going on. So thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Alvin.
Yes, in our household, Wendy and I, of course, her parent, she's a red diaper baby, so to speak. And I'm not sure what color or garment it would be, but it being a Chinese Exclusion Act grandparents and Chinese hand laundry parents who are illegal immigrants. So this always cuts raw and deep with me. It's never far from my mind. Just like Robert had that beautiful dedication, I really feel for the people who were excluded, illegal to become here. And also from the theater. And they always say that the playwrights, the directors, sometimes get into the mind of a character, but then the actors get into the body of a character and go on the front line, go on the stage. So I felt like I was just a different level of solidarity to really fast also. And we can never get out of our minds and how much imagination and empathy we use, that our fast was optional. And that's a galaxy away from people who do not have that option. And again, the fact that the people have to deal with that here in America, with just so much that it's just wrong. And again, in our own ways, we all just keep resisting and letting people know that this is not acceptable. We have to do something. And if everyone does a little bit, it goes a long way. So thank you for initiating this this cause. Thank you for this Fast for the Forgotten and for everything. So proud to be comrades and marchers with all of you. Thank you.
Solidarity. Thank you. Thank you, Alvin. So launching tomorrow.
Launching today.
I mean today.
Picking up the baton from Robert and Leon, and I think we've got Judy lined up for tomorrow to start tomorrow. So I'll be flying solo today, but keeping the continuity going. I've done it before, and I went a day and a half before, and we'll see how long I can make it this time. But I think my reflection this time is I am starting it on the Christian holiday of Good Friday. And it is common on Good Friday in some Christian traditions for people to fast on Good Friday. So I guess I'll kind of be joining it in that spirit. The holy days in the Christian calendar that are happening right now come at the season of Lent, which is a 40-day period where people do a self-reflection. Oftentimes they'll deny themselves something for that 40-day period. I remember growing up, like kids would say, I'm not eating candy for a month or the period or whatever. So it's kind of in that spirit, I guess. I was raised in that tradition, although I haven't been practicing it for many, many years now. But at any rate, I think that's kind of the mindset that I'm going into it today of, getting ready for the Easter holiday on Sunday, which is the new awakening and rebirth and all that sort of stuff. And so, hopefully the budget process in Albany is wrapping up in the next day or so. Hopefully there'll be good news coming out of it. My understanding is that the negotiations over this excluded workers fund are still in process, which means it's not off the table yet. And ditto for the larger issue of ending special tax breaks for large corporations and the ultra rich, so that we have the money to pay for things like an excluded worker fund and the many other things that everyday New Yorkers need as a result of the ongoing pandemic and economic recession. So keeping our fingers crossed on all that.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow at 11. Again, welcome, Deja. Hasta mañana.
Solidarity.
Solidarity.